at 5:31 on January 20th, 2026. And we do have a quorum present. We do, seems like we have a new member. You want to introduce yourself?
Stanford Sainsbury, live out west of Payson on West Mountain.
All right, great to have you with us.
Whatever else you want to know, you can ask.
No, that's awesome. Okay, thank you for being here. And I think with that, I've asked Commissioner Seth Cox if he will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, and our first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our December 16th meeting. Is there any comment or edits that we need to make to the minutes that have been included with our packets this week? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the December 16th, 2025 meeting.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Say nay. There's unanimous. And with that, we will move to item D on the agenda. Is right? Or we still have an item D tonight?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we do. This is Bryce Armstrong, staff. I think you all received a withdrawal statement for the first application from Rocky Mountain Power. We actually updated our agenda and posted that to our public websites, but this one doesn't reflect that. So that first item is withdrawn. So I guess we don't have a D. Sorry, we do have that.
Sorry.
So we'll just go ahead and
Move on to E?
Yep.
Okay, so D's been withdrawn. We're moving to item E, Timpanogos Special Service District proposal.
Chair, because I sit on the board at TSSD, I need to recuse myself from this item.
Okay, that sounds appropriate. Thank you. Okay, proposed land use ordinance text amendment from Timpanogos Special Service District. And have we got a report?
Yes, Greg Robinson from our staff will give you an introduction to this application.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. This item is coming for you. You probably are a little bit familiar with this, some of you, because this in 2024, this application or a similar application came before you to request a storage and sales location for biosolids. Biosolids are a byproduct of the wastewater treatment process, and we do have representative from TSSD to kind of discuss that in more detail because I'm definitely not an expert in that. This is a text amendment only, meaning that they haven't requested any change to any zones or any zoning changes that go along with this at present. You may see those in the future, but currently this is just to amend the land use ordinance to allow this as a permitted use in the PF zone. The PF zone is the public facility zone. This proposal has many or all of the same changes as discussed previously in their previous applications. If you remember, we did have multiple meetings where the public did show up and made a number of comments. Those comments were addressed in previous versions. Before we got to the end of that process, the applicant decided to withdraw that to review kind of their decisions going forward and their process going forward, just to make sure this was the right process and location for them to, or kind of not location yet, but the right process to go through in order to kind of allow this use going forward. This ordinance allows for Class A biosolids to be stored on us and sold from a site that is a site owned and operated by a government entity. And the Class A biosolids are the only type of biosolid that would be allowed to be stored. That those biosolids are the highest classification of biosolids, meaning that they are processed to reduce the pathogens to a level that is not that is below the detectable limit. And again, that's probably more specification that TSSD can provide on that if you have questions about that. This ordinance does have requirements for distance from existing municipal boundaries, as was previously discussed in the last application. This also includes, the I said before, the facility owned and operated by a government entity and can only receive those biosolids from that government and from an existing wastewater treatment plant operated by them. They also kind of allow for the I'm trying to get my bearings, but this has also added two items that were previously discussed, but we didn't get to the point where we were approving that. And if Bryce, if you want to scroll down to the bottom, on permitted uses under D and E, those two items were added from the previous version. This requires the biosolids to be stored on an impervious surface, so that one of the questions that some of the residents in the area that they were talking about previously were concerned about any leaching into the soil. This would prevent that from happening. And then E requires that they be covered to prevent or minimize any dispersion of those biosolids by the wind. That was, as you can remember, that was another item that was discussed by many of the people where this was the zone change was being proposed. So hopefully that kind of addresses those concerns that certain residents had. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And if you have any questions for the applicant, they're here to answer those as well.
Thank you, Greg. Do we have any questions for Greg at this point? No. Is the applicant here? Is it? It's not really an applicant, right? Or is it?
It is.
It
yeah,
is.
They do.
The text amendment is.
Yep.
Is an applicant.
This one is
Okay.
applicant driven.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have some questions, or do you want me to just talk in general what we're
Yeah, and
planning on
tell
doing?
us who you are, and then just tell us what's driving this request.
So I'm the district manager for Timpanogos Special Service District. We provide wastewater treatment for the northern part of Utah County, essentially from Vineyard all the way over to Eagle Mountain and Saratoga Springs, not including Linden. And we generate biosolids as part of our process from the biology. And our interest is we've purchased this property over there on the Alberta side of the lake, and we would like to take our dried Class A biosolids, which is the highest classification for biosolids, and have that as a nutrient implement for soil amendment, and that's our intent. I think it's in line also with what the city, what the county is trying to do with building a road that goes up that canyon. And I didn't bring additional graphics to show. We've listened to the concerns of the citizens in the area, having that impervious pad and also the cover that. And so we think it falls in line with what the county's trying to do with the road that goes up there, because we'll be building that. And
I think we're trying to do what's in line with what the county's trying to do, and with the waste stream that comes from citizens of Utah County. So
I remember this topic. Was it really 24 when it last came up? It was.
So it started in, the application came in 24, but it went through into 24.
Yeah, I remember this one. So yeah, I would agree that leaching into the soil was a concern, and then wind. Well, I think there was a thought maybe it wasn't light enough to be in the wind, but I think there was still a concern with that.
just to
So,
resolve the concern by covering it, that's the solution.
mhm. What do you anticipate? Like so this fully covered.
There's multiple ways to cover it.
Mhm.
One, put a tarp over it, like you would normal. You see farmers doing, and cover it with a tarp and put tires on it. That's a potential option. I think we were looking at something more robust. We could also do a facility that's all fully enclosed. We could do that as well. So that's what the engineer is working on, that to give me those options to see how that fits in. So
And you guys do the composting with that big, I don't know, it's a big tube of white. I mean, it's such a big long tarp. Is it a tarp or?
that's an option. The tubes, I think those are usually for the corn silage that they have, and then they can put them in the big tubes and then squeeze it out as the farmers
They need it.
need the feed. I'm not a farmer, so I'm just what I've seen from visual observation myself.
Okay. Any further questions for the applicant? Anyone?
I have a question. If I can remember, I think it was like a major intersection. Is that the one where?
There is a main intersection that there's the road that wants to go up the canyon. That's part of the public works folks are trying to design that and go up from up that canyon, up that road. And I've only been out there once and came down it. I haven't gone up it, and I don't know what those requirements are, but we will be meeting the requirements that the county is setting forth.
I know there's some residents that were concerned about just the traffic issue, and I think somebody was saying there was a bus that they drop, goes by that area, children's bus.
Yeah, so we will be, again, as I mentioned, conforming to what the county wants to do in that area. It's not just to meet our needs, but to meet the county's needs as a whole.
And then are you guys motivated to work with the local people there? Because I can imagine they probably would prefer something covered versus tires on,
Yes, so yeah, we're amenable to people's input on that to meet the needs.
since it is a major intersection anyways, I can imagine it would be unsightly. to just have
Mr.
a
Chair, sorry to interrupt. I think it's important to distinguish that what we're talking about tonight is just a land use application or land use ordinance text amendment that would be applicable in any public facilities zone in the county. We're not talking about a specific area. If the applicant wishes to put their operation onto a property, it would have to have that zone. And if it doesn't already have that zone, then that zone change would come back before you at that time. And that's when the specific area
so-
would be discussed.
And so, Bryce, just on that. So last time we heard this topic, it was through a conditional use permit.
No, it was a similar. They
Was
had
it a
two-
text amendment as well?
They had two applications
Okay.
that were run in duality. They had a text amendment and they also had a zone map change
Zone map
request,
change. Okay.
which
gotcha.
we did talk about a
Mhm.
specific area. And so at this point, it's only the text amendment. We're just looking to see if this is a appropriate use in the PF zone, in any PF zone in the county.
And again, the difference this time is D and E on the requirements for that.
Yeah, I'll let Greg speak to that.
That's what Greg.
So yeah, so the changes from where we got to in the last application are
Mhm.
D&E, and if you want to pull up that other, so just to show you, so this is the blue area is all the stuff that was modified previously by the Planning Commission, and then D&E are the new requirements after those discussions. So they took the comments up until that point. They also added D and E from those previous discussion items that we had, and submitted those to address any of the public concerns that we heard through that process.
Okay. Any further questions from the commission for the applicant?
I just have one last comment. Good job doing that, because I know that was something that stood out with a lot of people, that they were really concerned about that. So appreciate you guys looking at it and reworking it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's all for. Is there any further discussion or questions for staff? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
sorry, this does require a public hearing.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
That's
this
right.
is
That's right. We
a public
do.
hearing item.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we need to open a public hearing. So is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So move.
Got a motion and second to open public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, we are now in a public hearing, and I do have a request from Mr. Stinson to address the public hearing. Did you want to speak to the
Sorry, I didn't realize I was putting in a request to, I thought it was just to sign in.
okay,
You have
to speak now. List. Yes, now you
I can
have to
speak.
speak. You put your name here.
So I'm favorable of this. I'm Wade Stinson. I live out in Eagle Mountain. We are Aqua Engineering. We are working with Timpano Special Service District on part of this project. And as Commissioner Davis mentioned, we've done our best to listen to the public, recognizing the needs for both the county vision for the area as well as the local. Timpanogos has been very passionate about trying to make this applicable and beneficial for all around. So
Awesome.
we look forward to how this may progress.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the public hearing? I suggest we close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Say nay. The public hearing is now closed. Is there any further discussion on this text amendment?
Mr. Chairman, I've got one question concerning sales, and remind me how that is supposed to work. Does the applicant, you want to address that? I don't remember. I see it's addressed in here that it's allowed, and the 1 mile of the municipality, but does that mean that out there they can back right up to the storage shed and load up? Or how does that work?
So the intent on the 1 mile would be for the location of a proposed facility in the future, that it wouldn't be within 1 mile of a municipality. That's to help address any further
Okay.
density concerns with a
Gotcha.
biosolids approach. As far as the sales go, the intent would be to make it available to agricultural sites there. Being it's a Class A product, it would be available. There's no restrictions to it from the EPA regulation side because those contaminants are at below detectable limits as according to the EPA guidelines for biosolids. Therefore, it allows for the sale of that product. Currently, the district has been taking samples of what those biosolids would be, so we could actually produce an SKU, have a nutrient label to have a guaranteed analysis with that product, allowing for any use of that product. Other uses of this product across the nation in an exceptional quality is allowed on golf courses, public parks, flower beds, gardens, things along those lines. Our intent is not to bag this product and sell it at Home Depots and various products, but to have it in more of a bulk container, meaning it's available for your typical spreaders, whether that be your 1 to 5 acre lots or those that might have more property wanting those nutrients available. Did that address your question?
Yes. Yeah. That does.
Okay.
So, well, one concern is, I guess you won't know until you start to sell it how many folks are going to be out there to buy this stuff.
That is correct. There's no guarantee that there's a demand for it, but we would like the option to be able to provide that, and that's what we're here asking for.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember, did we talk about how many tons a day, or how many truckloads a week, or anything
That
like?
would be allowed on site. That was not discussed at the time.
Okay,
We're looking at up to 7 trucks a week is what we're looking at quantity.
that's sure.
And so the product is only about 15 to 20 pounds per cubic foot. So it's a very light product, hence the covers that we've talked about, and make sure that with the high winds out there, it's not being carried where it's not wanted. But the amount of truck traffic being presented is not substantial. There's a significant amount of truck traffic already in that intersection going to the landfill. Some of that traffic is already bringing product to there, and so it would divert some of that traffic that's currently going to the Bayview landfill. It would actually reduce that potential truck traffic.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else I can provide insight on? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And again, Mr. Chair, I just want to follow up that it needs to be considered any location in the area that's zone PF. You would have to consider those traffic impacts, not a specific location.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a motion related to this text amendment to consider?
I didn't see any specific language. Oh, there we go. There it is. Before.
Okay, I would like to move that the Utah County Planning Commission recommend approval of the proposed text amendments to section 2.08 and 12.56 of the Utah County Land Use Ordinance, along with any applicable renumbering and reformatting based on the findings specified in this staff report under subsection V.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve, to recommend approval of this text amendment. Is there any further discussion from the commission? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. The recommendation is approved. We will now move to other business. Election of a chair and vice chair for the Planning Commission for 2026. Thanks, Sullivan. Come back. So I don't know. I wasn't actually here. Was I? I don't think I was here last year. So I think.
I guess I nominate you again.
Okay, I'll take that one more year, if not nomination, anyways.
You're getting good, so
You know,
you got.
I'm getting good. I'm getting better. Is there any other nominations for chair?
Hearing no other nominations, I would say that we put him in by acclamation.
Okay.
Suspend the rules, put him in by acclamation. I think that's the proper one.
Okay, I'll accept that. If there's no other nominations, okay, I accept the acclamation. Thank you. Okay, I'll take. We'll open nominations for our vice chair. Are you the vice chair?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Was Karen?
I think it was Karen.
Was it Karen? Okay, so we were. Huh?
I was vice chair last year.
The whole year. Oh, boy.
Oops.
I should have come late just once.
My goodness, that good enough.
Well, I would make the same motion again, ditto for
Well,
Lorraine.
I think Seth, like, I would love to nominate you, vice chair.
Why would you love to nominate me?
Wow, you're very detail oriented. You guys are really impressive with, I wasn't here at the long.
Oh, the long meeting. Yeah.
Long meeting.
Long meeting.
Even though I wasn't here, I was feeling it for you.
Okay.
Just your attention to detail, and
I will serve in whatever capacity I am asked to.
Okay, so we've got a nomination for Lorraine and a nomination for Seth. Is there any other?
I'll withdraw my nomination if Lorraine feels that way, unless you want to vote.
Say again?
I'll withdraw my nomination.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
support Seth.
Is there any other nominations? Seeing as we only have one nomination, then we can also elect Seth our vice chair by acclamation. So done. Seth is now our vice chair.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
before we move on to public comment, we had one other business item just to discuss.
Okay.
Mr. Cox brought up a potential scheduling conflict for our March meeting.
Okay.
I believe that's the night of the caucus for the Republican Party. And so we just wanted to throw that out there to see if that was going to be a conflict for people's schedules.
Well, I think we should move it if it is caucus night. I do
It
think
depends on what time caucus starts for everybody, but if we can get in and out.
it
when we get
depends.
done.
Is it
6 o'clock, I believe, is when caucus starts.
Okay.
Is it Democrat caucus or Republican caucus?
I am not sure.
Okay.
I will
you're
have
right,
to
though.
double check.
Well,
Usually they like to schedule them on the same night,
yeah.
but there have been times where it's been different.
I can't. So, do we have a suggestion on an alternate night?
Maybe what we can do is we will have a February meeting, and by then we'll have our application deadline would have passed, and so we'll know if we're going to have a meeting. And so maybe we'll wait to see if we're going to have a meeting, and then if we are going to have one, we can maybe adjust the schedule at that point, if that works.
Okay.
Maybe a week.
Does that work for the commission? So we'll just postpone the decision on a new date until our February meeting, and then if there is a need for a meeting, then we can decide on an alternate date. We can get clarification if that's truly a conflict before then too.
Sure. Yeah.
So that sounds like a good plan. I don't think it requires a motion if that works for everybody. That's what we'll plan on. Is there any further business for the commission tonight? We do need to open up to public comment if there's any desire for public comment. This is our time on the agenda that if anyone wants to address the commission and get something off their chest, that they can come to it. Okay, seeing none and seeing as public comment is our last agenda item, the meeting stands adjourned.